It's a high road life for us. It's a high road life for us. I can't believe I just sang on camera, but I was so into it today I started coming up with lyrics. Instead of broiling, dehydrate, la 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 la. Anyway, today something completely different. Welcome to It's a High Raw Life, episode 11. I'm going to make a barley salad. If you're wondering about grains and that kind of thing, I'm going to tell you my high raw whole foods way of incorporating grains into my menu. I usually save grains for the evening. That's just my thing. But as far as I know, the grains that I'm using today are raw. Correct me if you need to, if I'm wrong. But just know it's really healthy either way, and this is going to be dinner tonight. So what I'm going to do is show you a barley salad that I can make today because of what was in my refrigerator. I've made it several different ways. You can make it a little sweeter with cranberries and walnuts. You can go spicier. You can really do anything. It's one of these chuck it all in there salads. So here's what I did. I buy barley in, from one of the bulk bins, just whole raw barley. It's a grain. That's what it looks like. Soak 1 cup of it overnight. That 1 cup, after I poured off the soak water, gave me approximately 2 1/4 cups of barley. Now, this will feed a few people, or you twice, depending on what you're going to do with it. I think that tonight, what's going to happen is it's going to be my main meal, but maybe 1 or 2 people will have it as a side dish. Now, one of the things I really like is lots of texture in one thing. Now, the barley, it's not crunchy because it's been soaking, but it's not smushy. So it's, let's call it chewy. But I want to add something nutty in there without adding the nuts because I had some cashew cookies today already, and I don't want to really have many more nuts today. So what I do have is, it's called triticale. It's a wheat berry. And you want to know why I know it's raw or alive? Because I buy it for sprouting. So I just soaked it overnight. I'm going to give it a quick rinse. And I don't know, it was like a 1/2 cup or so that I soaked. And you could see some of it already started to sprout because in the grain, I don't know how close I can get this to you, but in the grain, it looks like an oat with a little split. You could see where the little tail started to grow. So I've got living food. Yum. I love to sprout. Okay, so now I've got my barley and my, I don't even know if triticale is the right way to say that. We could call it triticale. Why don't we just call it a wheat berry? Because that's what it closely resembles. Okay. Then I've made it before using dill, using mint. I have cilantro, and I wanted to thank Myra. She sent me a really great tip about buying herbs that I could put them in the freezer. So I'm totally going to do that now. Now when I want to have a couple different herbs, I won't feel like, oh, I'm going to waste it, I won't use it. It's very pretty, this salad, when you use red pepper, but I only had orange pepper. So that's what I'm using. And that'll be pretty too. And the other thing I'm going to put in here, pretty simple salad, is chopped red onion. I chopped it really, really fine. And then I'm just going to make a dressing and mix it all together. It's going to be yummy. So you want to know why I have an orange pepper? I'll tell you. One of my neighbors said, oh, could you please show me how you make those no cheese crackers that you make? And I said, I would really love to, but orange peppers have been $4.99 a pound, and I'm not going to make that now. Then I was at the produce market a week ago, and they had orange peppers for $1.49 a pound. So I bought 4. Like, awesome. Yeah, I can't find raw macadamia nuts anywhere. The place that I usually buy them at, they don't have them anymore. And when I went to the food co-op the other day, they only had the toasted ones. So sorry, neighbor, you're going to have to wait on that. And now I have to use up the peppers because I don't want them to go bad. So I didn't even use a whole pepper. I used 3/4 of a pepper. And I'll save that and use it for something else. Now for the dressing, The last time I made this salad, which was for a party, I made a triple batch of it. It was beautiful. I don't know how many people ate it, but I saw a couple people put it on their plate, and I ate it, and that was really good. I lost my train of thought, but I'm making dressing. Oh, I know what it was. Agave. You don't see it here. I'm using my honey. Here's why. I got an email also from a very nice person whose name is Zoe, and she sent me an article on agave. And I didn't read the whole thing, honestly, because, I don't know, my attention span's kind of short. But it said it's highly processed, and it's hard and expensive to get pure, true, wonderful agave nectar. So I think I'm just going to stick with honey. I bought a double package of agave at a really good price, so I can't waste, just can't do it. So the full container that's completely sealed, I put it in our emergency supply kit, because really, if there's an emergency and the world is collapsing, I'm not going to worry so much about how processed my sweetener is, and maybe I could trade it for toilet paper, who knows. The other bottle that's open, I just kind of stuck it to the back of the pantry. If I'm out of honey, I might use it, but I'm going to stick with honey. Okay, so we've got some honey. I usually use olive oil, but since I'm not putting nuts in today and I was sort of in a nutty mood, oh, imagine me feeling nutty, I'm going to use the hemp oil. We're going to call that 1, we're going to call that, oh, that's more. I was going to say 2 tablespoons, but let's say 3 because I was a little heavy-handed there. And some pepper. You know, I think I'll sprinkle some pepper on there. Barley is actually pretty bland, so you do want to season it, but I have the red onion in there, and that can get very strong, so I don't want to go too heavy on it. And then I'm going to put in about a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to start with this. We'll see what happens. I mean, if it turns out that it's not flavorful enough, then I'll fix it up. Now, if you remember, I've got my honey is a little bit of an issue, so I'm just going to mix it around quite a bit, see if I can get that to settle down in there. Today it's chunky. So hopefully I'll find macadamia nuts soon, and then orange bell peppers at the same time, and I'll be able to make that recipe, because I've gotten requests from a few people, and I actually had told my neighbor, oh, when I make it, you can come over. Oh, my honey is like really giving me a problem. But what I'll do is put that in to my blender then, and just blend it up. I don't feel like doing that right now. Why? It's quiet in the house. And I don't even want to add blender noise to that quiet. Maybe I can use a fork. So anyways, I've been getting fantastic emails and great tips and suggestions for the show and just in general. So here's the deal. My dressing, it's not turning into the dressing I want it to be at the moment because of this honey. But I think if I let it sit a little bit, it'll just do its own thing. So instead of tossing it into the salad right now, because I really want to show you how beautiful this is, I'm just going to pour it on later. I'm going to show you how I'm going to have this tonight. I have this bed of baby spinach with some tomatoes, and then I'm just going to take the salad and pile it on top. And you know what? I can pour my dressing on later. Okay, so that's about half of the bowl that I made. Look at that. Yum, that's going to be so good. Okay, so I'm going to work on my dressing a little more after I say goodbye. And for one very special watcher who might be my biggest fan, not sure, she has a package of flax crackers going out when I leave for the post office in about an hour. So that's it. Thanks for watching It's a High Raw Life, episode 11. Get some barley, soak it, have fun with it. It gives you a texture maybe you've been missing over the past couple weeks if you've really been sticking with super high raw fruits and veggies. Sometimes it's fun to add it in. If you don't do grains, don't do grains. But I just wanted to throw this one out there, and I'm totally in the mood for it, and it's going to be great. So I will see you next time on It's a High Raw Life. Bye.